participants to switch on their video, please. Request participants to switch on their video, please.
सुनो फिर बोल
डिवाइस स्वच्छ सर्टिफिकेशन प्रोटोकॉल के लॉन्च के लिए ऐसे तो परमिशन लेता हूं सर स्टेट्स सेंटर और यूएलपी के प्रयास से स्वच्छ भारत मिशन में ह्यूज सफलता मिली है पीछे उसी को आगे बढ़ाने के क्रम में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 1 अक्टूबर 2021 को SBM 2.0 को लॉन्च किया जिसका मेन पर्पज है क्रिएटिंग गार्बेज फ्री सिटी। इसके साथ में जो दो बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव है वो एक है कि सारे शहरों को ODF प्लस करना और प्लस 1 लाख से कम पॉपुलेशन वाले 50% टाउन्स को वाटर प्लस करना। इस ऑब्जेक्टिव को ध्यान में रखते हुए और पीछे सब जो लर्निंग्स हुआ है स्वच्छ सर्टिफिकेशन में जो 2000 शुरू से जो सर्टिफिकेशन शुरू हुआ उसके बेसिस पे प्रोटोकॉल्स को हम लोगों ने कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली रिवाइज किया है जिसमें स्टेट से कंसल्टेशन भी किया है। इनके बेसिस पे ये रिवाइज प्रोटोकॉल आज लॉन्च होने हैं। तो इस इवेंट में मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हाउसिंग एंड अर्बन अफेयर्स की तरफ से इट इज माय प्रिविलेज टू वेलकम ऑल ऑफ यू in this launch protocol and at outset of it sir I would like to welcome secretary sir under whose leadership and margdharshan we are striving relentlessly towards achieving clean and sustainable urban India. I also welcome National Mission Director Swachh Bharat Mission Ms. Rupa Madam under whose leadership we are striving hard to achieve the targets set there and in revamping this Swachh protocol, Swachh certification protocol, it has been taken care that not only the objective of SBM2 is inbuilt but also states strength weaknesses those things are also seen so that it is very practical to them. I also take the pleasure of welcoming Additional Chief Secretary, Principal Secretary, Urban Developments, Official of State and other local bodies, and also development partners, Director Swachh Bharat Mission, officials of PMU and CPHU in this launch event. So we look forward to for maximum participation from the ULBs in this certification process. And once again, I welcome each and every one of you. So I request Secretary Sir to launch the revised Swachh certification program. Now I request to release this is the protocol slides question. Thank you. So we have developed a short movie on the journey of this certification protocols. So I request to that movie, please.
शहरी भारत के चहुमुखी विकास के स्वर्णिम दौर में 15 अगस्त 2014 का अहम स्थान है। इसी ऐतिहासिक दिन में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने लाल किले की प्राचीर से स्वच्छता को आम आदमी की जीवन शैली में प्रमुखता से अपनाने का आह्वान किया।
क्या हमारा देश स्वच्छ नहीं हो सकता है? अगर 125 करोड़ देशवासी तय कर लें कि मैं कभी गंदगी नहीं करूंगा तो दुनिया की कौन सी ताकत है जो हमारे शहर गांव को आकर के गंदा कर सकते। डिग्निटी ऑफ विमेन, क्या ये हम सबका दायित्व नहीं है? क्या हमारी मां बहनों को इज्जत के लिए हम कम से कम शौचालय का प्रबंध नहीं कर सकते? हिंदुस्तान की सभी स्कूलों में टॉयलेट हो, बच्चियों के लिए अलग टॉयलेट हो, और इसलिए स्वच्छ भारत का एक अभियान इसी 2 अक्टूबर से मुझे आरंभ करना है।
आम जनमानस की भावनाओं एवं आकांक्षाओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी द्वारा किए गए इस आह्वान को दुनिया ने उत्सुकता और आश्चर्य की नजर से देखा। यही संकल्प आगे चलकर स्वच्छ भारत मिशन के रूप में शुरू हुआ, जिसने भारत जैसे विशाल देश में शहरों को खुले में शौच से मुक्त बनाने जैसे चुनौतीपूर्ण काम को 5 साल के अंदर कर दिखाया। इस दौरान समाज में स्वच्छता को एक विशेष स्थान मिला और ये करिश्मा जन भागीदारी और जन आंदोलन से हासिल हुआ, जो दुनिया के बहुत सारे देशों के लिए एक अनुकरणीय उदाहरण बना। इस अभियान के साथ ही देश के विभिन्न शहरों में प्रत्येक घर, प्रत्येक सार्वजनिक स्थानों पर व्यक्तिगत, सार्वजनिक एवं सामुदायिक शौचालय बनाने तथा उन्हें प्रयोग करने के लिए लोगों में जागरूकता आई, जिसका सबसे अधिक लाभ महिलाओं को हुआ। स्वच्छता का ये अभियान ODF तक ही सीमित नहीं रहा, बल्कि समाज के सभी वर्ग विशेष की भावनाओं का सम्मान करते हुए बच्चों, महिलाओं, दिव्यांगों और ट्रांसजेंडर्स के लिए भी विशेष टॉयलेट्स बनाए गए और इन टॉयलेट्स को डिजिटल इनोवेशन की मदद से गूगल मैप पर ढूंढना आसान बनाया। देश के सभी शहरों को स्वच्छता की इस मुहिम के साथ जोड़ने तथा उसकी प्रगति को मॉनिटर करने के लिए ODF++ एवं वाटर प्लस जैसे मुख्य प्रोटोकॉल्स ने अहम भूमिका निभाई। इन सभी प्रोटोकॉल के माध्यम से खुले में शौच से मुक्ति के अलावा ये भी सुनिश्चित गया कि सार्वजनिक और सामुदायिक शौचालयों का उच्च स्तर का रखरखाव हो, फीकल स्लज का उचित निदान एवं घरों और व्यावसायिक प्रतिष्ठानों से निकलने वाले गंदे पानी का वैज्ञानिक तरीके से उपचार के बाद पुनः प्रयोग हो। ODF के इस अभियान में सफाई कर्मियों की स्वास्थ्य सुरक्षा तथा उन्हें एक सम्मानजनक व्यवसाय देने का कार्य भी किया। स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन के तहत ODF की सफलता के बाद प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 1 अक्टूबर 2021 को स्वच्छ भारत मिशन 2.0 की घोषणा की, जिसका लक्ष्य था पिछले 5 वर्षों में प्राप्त सफलता परिणामों को बनाए रखना तथा उन्हें और गति प्रदान करना। साथ ही ODF प्रोटोकॉल्स में गुणात्मक बदलाव कर शहरों को स्वच्छता के प्रति प्रोत्साहित करना, नए इनोवेटिव आइडियाज के साथ स्वच्छता की दिशा में देश दुनिया का मार्गदर्शन करना और सफाई मित्रों की सुरक्षा एवं उनकी आत्मनिर्भरता को बढ़ाना। भारत के स्वच्छता के इस एक संगठित संकल्प ने आज देश दुनिया में स्वच्छता के मायनों को बदल दिया है। स्वच्छता के प्रति लोगों के व्यवहार और उनकी सोच में नई अलख जगाई है। स्वच्छता के प्रति लोगों के व्यवहार और उनकी सोच में नई अलख जगाई है।
Swachh certification protocols. I request Jasmine.
The journey of our efforts to prevent open defecation free cities has been right. Please stand up. Yes. So back. In 2016, as our protocols to prevent open defecation free cities went up to the next level of it, and thereafter we also added a component of fecal plus with our final upgradation in 2019 through the introduction of water plus protocols, where water conveyance treatment and byproducts were also reused. After having that, we've had the launch of SBM 2.0. Now the effort is to see how what we we have done in phase 1, there is no sustain it. And also we put the infrastructure into true use, open defecation. Next. Next, please. And the impact of Swachh certification has been also a lot of innovations that have come up with specifically designed for cities have worked has been the safety of Safai Mitras. So that transparency is there, information is there with people, there is a grievance mechanism, there is feedback. Various cities have also developed revenue generated models. We've also, which is beyond just infrastructure creation. The cities that were ODF plus were few. Today we can see that most of our cities have already got the ODF. Significant number also have functional community. The thing is, we have to now see that by end of the mission period, this blue band, which becomes 100%, and the green band is at least 50% of the cities become water plus by the end of the mission period. Next. Next, please. So, DF plus fecal sludge management. So this is a mission level which has been put, and we can also see states that are slightly below average, as a lesser number of cities being ODF plus, where ODF plus progressed. The focus of states and cities now. To see which are the major reasons. Can we please have the next one? If in case anybody has the hard copy, you can give it to me. I think it has been the percentage of cities to sustain the certification is cases where there are where cities have been well able to sustain this ODF certification, and some states there have been slippages as well. These slippages also have been analyzed, and next please. These slippages have been analyzed, and also most of them infrastructure has been created, but we have not yet. Also, we have seen what is the kind of public that has come up to us in the last few years. Interesting to note that around 40% of the public grievances that we receive every day out of the 10,000 grievances is pertaining to public community toilets. We are very sure for the same, and they will be taking steps for functionality. certification. Now, with this modified protocol, there will be a one-stop digital platform which will be Swachhatam portal. So no emails, no separate WhatsApp messages requesting for certification. There will be just one platform. We apply on that. The certification agency goes. There is a systematic window that will be opened for 30 days in every quarter, the next quarter opening in July, and automatically the certification agency will go for the verification process. So this entire thing has been made digitized, systematic and fixed time instead of any kind of ad hoc requests for certification. Also, we have seen that many times cities are not aware when the certifications are getting over. People get transferred. So to ensure there is no slippage, an alert will go to the cities 2 months prior to the certification exhausting so that the cities will accordingly prepare. This is regarding the process getting simplified. The second important change that we are bringing in is an increase in the survey, the sample size. The sample size is going to increase significantly under the different certifications, and also for the public events, we will be looking at the Swachhata app. And the focus will be now on functionality, on also on used and fecal sludge management. Going to the what is different in the new ODF protocol, the ODF assessments have been restored, revived, because we had stopped it a couple of years back. But to ensure that there is no slippage, we are restoring it. There will be robust monitoring methods. Have also been introduced in the new ODF protocol. From a sample of 17 locations, city which was more than 5 lakh population, we will be going to around, let's say, 56 locations in a large city. Similarly, population-wise cities will be different. In ODF Plus, similarly, we have made the assessment parameters extremely simple. Instead of earlier mandatory, essential, desirable, parameters, and these are desirable parameters. Accordingly, the certification will go, and there is a significant increase of marks on the functionality, as in how are we sustaining, what kind of revenue generation. If there is no revenue generation, what is the model that we are having for cleanliness, to get the feedback, to get user feedback, to see that there is a caretaker attendance, etc. For ODF Plus, the emphasis is on mechanized cleaning of septic tanks and sewage. Similarly, extremely robust verification mechanism has been put, and there is a significant jump in the sample size. Earlier, in a 10 lakh cities, to check for ODF protocol, we used to have only a sample size of 45. We are increasing it to 232, and also in terms of the kind of places that the certification team will go, we have broadened it significantly. All those places where there is a possibility of open defecation will be covered in the new revision. And the last, Water Plus protocol, again, the qualifying criteria has been reduced. For towns less than 20,000, sewer network condition has been exempted. We simply will see the grey water management, and also the sampling size has been significantly increased. Next. And to wrap up the entire thing, there are few steps that every city is already taking, and we are just focusing on 10 kind of things which every city can do as a regular practice, not just to receive certification. It's not just in terms of infrastructure provision of 100%, but also regular cleaning, availability of running water or availability of water, an operation maintenance model, mapping the toilets on GTL, the caretaker attendance and caretaker functionality, grievance redressal on Swachhata app, regular IEC drives to spread awareness, identifying the hotspots for OU and OD, and then regular Swachhata pakwadas for IC generation. So this is, sir, in brief, the new certification process, and our effort has been to make it simple yet more robust, with the hope that by 2026 we have all our cities becoming ODF++ and 50% of the cities becoming Water Plus. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for overview on Swachh certification. Now I request Secretary Sir to address us.
Good afternoon. Evolution evolution of protocol is a continuous process, and we are moving forward in that process, trying to make it more functionality oriented, trying to simplify it so that the officials and the people can understand it better. Large number of times we realize that our protocols are so complicated that people are not able to understand it. When we say ODF plus plus, yeah, in one line you can explain it, but the way protocol is may not be easy to explain it to common man on the street. So I think the success of any protocol is that people in the street can understand what the protocol is and why are they achieving it and why they are not achieving it. At the same time, capturing all the functionality aspects. So this is a movement in that direction, and congratulate our team having done that, and look forward to reactions and remarks from all the cities as to how useful they find it. Yeah, our entire work depends on what cities are doing, and so that all of them feel that if they can't come first, but at least this protocol they can achieve in this much of time. So that's finally it depends on the work done by the city officials and citizens and ward councillors and everyone together, which makes it successful. So all the best to all of you in achieving these protocols, and keep up your drive to make our cities cleaner than what they were yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for today's lunch program. Now, back to back, we are starting Swachh webinar series 3. Under this, there are several presentations related to CTPT management and investors. So that will be very helpful. First, I would like to invite Sri Chandra Mohan Garg, IAS from Allahabad. He will be speaking on managing CTPT requirement for large gathering like homes in a Prayagraj case experience. So, Mr. Chandra Mohan Garg. If there is delay in connecting,
Am I audible, sir?
yes, you are audible.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I am Chandra Mohan Garg. I am Commissioner Prayagraj. And I am going to share my presentation regarding how community toilets and public toilets were managed during the Kumbh Mela. Can I share my presentation? Yes, sir. My screen is visible, sir. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it is visible. Please go ahead.
I'll start my presentation. So, in brief, I'm going to discuss in 2019 when the Kumbh Mela took place, how a crowd of 24 crores that was there, how community toilets and public toilets were managed by Prayagraj Municipal Commissioner. This is a brief about the details. On the right hand side, you can see a picture that is taken by a drone camera, which can where you can see the flood of crowd. Overall, the whole Mela area is into 3,200 plus hectares, and approximately 24 crore people visit during the whole span of the Mela. Approximately 6,000 camps are being set up, which are divided into 20 sectors, and more than 15,000 sanitation workers are involved in the work, and approximately 1.15 lakh toilets and urinals are set up in the process. So managing this whole exercise is in itself an end-to-end process which requires a lot of collaboration and coordination at different levels. First and foremost is how to set up toilets in the whole area so that each and every person has venues available. So identification of locations. So we identified that approximately 36,000 toilets were to be set up in the camp, in the parking and approach, 6,000 in the government establishments, nearby ghats where people go, approximately 18,000 toilets were set up over there, and in the overall vicinity in the sectors, approximately 43,000 toilets were set up. These are some pictures that we took up, prefabricated setups, which is easy to install and easy to take away, because when you're installing more than 1 lakh setups, it has to be such that it is easy to set up and easy to operate and easy to remove. Because even after the event has taken place, it is very essential that no defecate material is left, and it is very important to scientifically even take off the setup that we have done. These are again few pictures that different kind of toilet setups. Canard toilets are there, 10 toilets are there, and you can see that few of the photos over here. Now comes the main part, that how we supervise the whole process. So the plan was such that for every 10 toilets, we did the O&M of the whole project, and for every 10 toilets there was one cleaner, and over 10 cleaners there was one supervisor, to ensure that they are properly cleaned, timely cleaned. We had an integrated command and control setup for the whole Mela program, and we linked all our toilets with that process. How we did the ICT and how we managed it, I will cover up in the next slide. One more important part was there, how we managed the whole sewage treatment of the whole setup. I will also cover that in the upcoming slides. This is what I want to explain over here, that almost 17,000 toilets that we set up near the riverbed. Over there, we did not have any option of connecting them with the drainages. So over there, what we did was we had enrolled more than 250 suction trucks which were cleaning those toilets on a daily basis, and we had to set up 2 temporary STP plants for those 17,000 toilets plus the adjoining sectors, so that able to treat whatever waste was getting gathered over there. Details about it, vehicles we were having 2 temporary STPs. For the rest of the sectors, what we did was that the nearby STP plants which are already operating, we connected the rest of the sectors to those sewage treatment plants, so that all 17,000 toilets and urinals that we have set up, any waste that is being produced is being treated and nothing is left out in the whole Mela area, so that we are able to ensure the cleanliness and proper treatment overall. And we had also put up sufficient signages and other details so that people are aware that where they have to go, and all end-to-end management work was taken place for all these things. One other big issue was when you're operating more than 1 lakh toilets in an area of 3,200 hectares, it will create a lot of bad odor. And it is equally important to find a solution to that problem. For that, daily 6,000 liters of organic odor-free solutions were consumed by these toilets. So we had an end-to-end plan and separate stuff to ensure that all toilets are being properly treated, so that no smell is generated in the whole area and nobody has problems when they're using our toilets. Equally important part is scientific uninstallation of the toilets, because once the program of the whole Mela is over, the focus is over. For that also we did an O&M with the company where we ensured that all all the toilets that we have installed, all the septic tanks and soak pits that are being created are installed in a scientific manner with zero tolerance towards open defecation. And before covering up the pits, a solution of methylene and lime bleaching was put so that there is no breeding of flies and the health problems that could have been created or other issues that have been created were also quickly dealt out. This is the ICT intervention, which was very helpful in ensuring that we were able to ensure that all our 1,17,000 toilets were properly cleaned and maintained. For that, what we did was geotagging and QR coding of toilets was done, and the cleaner who is going there has to scan it up and give information so that our ICT can track that whether all our toilets are functional or any of our toilets is dysfunctional. Secondly, electronic setups were also done at the places. Those toilets can also give a feedback, so we have a second mechanism to check whether the toilets are properly cleaned up or not. So both of these two systems were 24 into 7 monitored in our ICCC system, where we were trying to check each and every aspect related to cleanliness was properly dealt or not. As well as we had a GPRS tracking of all our solid waste transportation vehicles, so that we are also able to ensure that the fecal sludge that is being generated is properly sent to our STPs and it is treated or not. So this end-to-end monitoring of the whole process along with IT interventions helped us to ensure that there was proper management of public toilets and community toilets which was set up particularly for the purpose of Mela. IEC was equally important in that area to keep people aware, to keep people involved in this whole process of sanitation, because when 3,200 acre of land has been flooded and the maximum number of people that visit a day is approximately 3 crores. So we had 1,500 Swachhagrahes as sanitation ambassadors for the whole period of the Mela, and they really helped us in ensuring that the people who were coming, the pilgrims who were coming, they were adequately made aware and a part of this whole sanitation campaign that was taking place in that place. Some of the IC campaigns that we had taken up during the Kumbh process, approximately 1,70,000 square feet area was painted with various schemes of sanitation to make people aware about sanitation. Lastly, this is a Guinness Book of Record that was created by Prayagraj Municipal Commissioner, wherein for having maximum number of people doing sweeping at a particular point of time. So all in all, Kumbh was a challenging experience, but because of very effective coordination between district administration, municipality, and development authority, we were able to ensure that there was no littering. There was proper and adequate arrangements to ensure that the community toilets and toilets that are put in are functional, working, people are using it. And I think because of the whole supervision, monitoring, and close coordination and teamwork, we were able to ensure that we were able to handle the whole event properly. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Prayag. Thank you very much. I hope the states where the large gathering will be taking place, this example will be very helpful in managing sanitation. We again thank you very much, and now invite Commissioner Vijayawada for presentation on innovation in CTPT. Sri Swapnil Dipkar Pundkar. Commissioner Vijayawada, please make your presentation.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, thank you. You are audible.
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, I have shared my screen, sir. It is visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Just 1 minute, sir. Sir, it is still visible, sir?
Yes, it is.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to all. My name is Swapnil. I am Municipal Commissioner Vijayawada. I am here to present the innovations that Vijayawada as a city, Vijayawada Municipal Corporation has taken up in the community and the public toilet limb, both on the construction side as well as on the operation and maintenance side. ఇది ముందుగా వెళ్ళట్లేదు బాబు. Okay. So the city background in brief, Vijayawada Municipal Corporation covers an area of 61.88 square kilometer. As you can see, it is a very, very small and densely packed corporation as compared to the population. Currently, as per the 2011 census, we were 10.34 lakhs, but currently our projected population is 15 lakhs. The area still remains the same, which makes us as in one of the a few densely populated cities in the nation. There are heavy slums here, which again has its own issues in maintaining the community toilets. Regarding the water supply, we are doing a pretty fair job. That is, we are providing 182 MLD per day at the rate of 150 LPCD. That is more than 125 LPCD, which is required. So comingly immediately onto the topic is the salient features of the ULB. Swachh Sarvekshan 2021, Vijayawada Municipal Corporation was ranked third all India in the million plus category. We are already an ODF plus city. We have the water plus certification. We are GFC 5-star rating. Not only that, in the climate smart cities, we were rated 4-star, and plus I just want to mention this, that Vijayawada is not a smart city, as in it does not get the spots that other smart cities are getting, but still we could compete among the smart cities. Coming to the toilets, we are having 50 public toilets, we are having 15 community toilets, and then 40 standalone modern urinals, which we have kept at places with a very high public footfall. Coming immediately to the innovations which we have taken up in the CT and PT thing is the intensive IEC campaign. Now, when it comes to the IEC campaign, we are not limiting it only to the rallies, to the videos, the audios, jingles, but then we are going to every door and door to door. Now, to door to door, we are doing it through the self-help group, our SHGs. So every door to door, we have covered, we have explained them the importance of Swachh Sarvekshan, and particularly, we have explained them the importance of using a public toilet or of using a community toilet, particularly in the slum areas. Once this was done, still we could find people, even though they are having access to a safe toilet, whether it is a individual household toilet or whether it is a community toilet, still they were going outside and using as in defecating in the open. So we finally came up with a system of volunteers. These are particularly the male volunteers who prevent public from using the open spaces as open defecation grounds. Other than that, yes, we are doing the rallies, audios, videos, pamphlets. That is already going through. But this volunteer and SHG system is something which can be taken up across other corporations as well. Sorry. Second thing is, now our toilets are actually fueling our community kitchens. So this was one of the system which was started in Vijayawada. So not only it is giving us access to clean energy, but also I would say that it is also creating more awareness and more motivation amongst the some population, particularly that their good deeds are resulting finally in the community kitchen to be run in a green way. We have developed our toilets with greenery, so there is no toilet without greenery in Vijayawada Municipal Corporation. So you could see that the greenery can be actually using the flower pots, or there are a lot of trees which are planted in and around the toilets here. This actually attracts a lot of public in order to use the toilets rather than using some dingy or some corner place over the street and to relieve themselves. This is one kind of a thing, Namma toilet, which I want to focus upon, because is yes, there is normal type of toilets are being constructed, but Namma toilets these are actually modular toilets which can be installed within a period of just 2 months. So this entire sets pre-manufactured FRP structure set comes in, and then it can also be changed, or it can also be modified as per the requirement. So going to the next slide, this toilet is made up with the FRP structure. Being modular, the toilet facility can be installed at any of the standalone unit, or with the when the footfall increases, it can also be increased to multiple number of units at the same place. The time frame for the installation is 2 months. Since it is made of composite material, even the maintenance of it is very easier. So as you know, within a period of 6 months or within a period of 1 year, there will be some items which would be going missing from these toilets. Particularly the water outlets, the commodes, and then these Namo toilets, they give us a facility of immediately replacing, immediately maintaining these toilets with their composite material. Then we have also taken up the initiative of developing the toilets under public-private partnerships. It's actually the part of a bigger project called Street Furniture in Vijayawada Municipal Corporation. Prakash Arts is one of the advertisement agency which has come up with this concept. So these toilets are one of the part of that bigger plan. This is nothing but a container. So a container, it contains few toilet units. It is both for male as well as for female. The operation and maintenance is taken up by the third party itself. The revenue is generated using the advertisement space which these toilets, the facade of the toilets generates. So not only it has given us a better visibility in the public when this street furniture is put up, but also it has also given access to the public to the safe and hygienic toilets, particularly area where there is less probability and less space available for the corporation to actually build a toilet. Then coming to the citizen feedback. So we are taking the feedback from the citizen whenever they are using the toilets, and then whenever the feedback is taken, it does not stop there. It does not stop at that point only, and it also does not stop us from the payments which are made and the agreements which are continued for the maintenance of the toilets are actually based upon this citizen feedback. Other than that, each and every toilet in the Vijayawada Municipal Corporation is also installed with a vending machine and also an incinerator. So this is one example of the live dashboard that the real-time dashboard that we check every day. So the green color is the good responses, the yellow color or the orange color is the average responses, and the red colors are the bad or the poor performance toilets. So immediately when such responses are received, the third party, the agency to whom the contract is given, they are contacted and they are asked to let the system side as the contract is discontinued in the future. Other than that, we also give SMS alerts to the customers. So whoever is giving the feedback, the SMS alerts also goes to them. For me also as a commissioner also, it is a very good arrangement wherein I can real time monitor how the toilets are functioning. So just one snapshot. So these are a set of seven feedbacks which we had got on June 8th. So 5 of them were very good and 2 of them were good. So it is a real-time thing which keeps on coming to us. In case there is any issue in the toilet, immediately the wrong feedback is also coming to us, and immediately action is taken on the contractor who is responsible for maintenance of the toilet. Now this is something which can be taken up in other cities depending upon the capacity. Vijayawada Municipal Corporation is actually gaining revenue through the public toilets. We are earning to the tune of 26 lakhs per year. So the operation and maintenance is given to a third party, and it is on a revenue sharing model. So they charge for the persons in the public toilets. For the community toilets, they are not charged, but then it is cross subsidized using the income that they get from the public toilets. So this is something which is actually fetching us revenue. Not only that, it is also helping us to maintain our toilets clean and green throughout the year. And whenever negative feedback is received by us, we immediately issue a notice to the company, and then action is taken. Other than that, there are standalone urinals. There is a separate third-party agency, we actually pay for the maintenance of those urinals, which are particularly placed at the heavy public footfall places. So finally, the sanitation and hygiene is maintained in a very clean and green way in all the municipal corporation, Vijayawada Municipal Corporation toilets, and that is why we get a very good response from the public, and we are finding very slow. We are finding very less yellow spots. In fact, in some area it is yellow spots free also. We have geotagged all the toilets within the city because as the city is growing, public is constantly demanding for access to safe and hygienic toilets, which is again then possible through the use of these modern technologies like Google. Future plans for enhancing the citizen engagement. So now going forward, we are targeting gender-specific, gender-sensitive toilet facility. Particularly for this, we are as in we are proposing to start pink toilets for the women. It will not only be a toilet, but it will also have facilities like it will have a crash for the children in case the women is a carrying women. It will also have facilities like sanitary napkin vending machines, incinerators. Also, it will have a small park where the children can play near the toilet. So it will be like a positive signal for the working women in the area to come forward and use the pink toilets. Other than that, Sulabh International, I think that the Sulabh complex has already come up with the proposal of building 2 new air-conditioned toilets. This is because of the high footfall that we are receiving, and it has become one of a lucrative business for the pay-and-use toilets also. So, taking this initiative forward, and because the public expectations are very high in sanitation facilities, they are always demanding for a positive restroom experience. Other than that, the functional component of hygiene, cleanability, and conservation of resources remain primary concern for Vijayawada Municipal Corporation. Other than that, the ensuring the adequacy to construction of community and public toilets and effective operation and maintenance would be one of the future plans. Other than that, we are also thinking of having a toilet particularly for the transgenders. That would be also one of our future plans. So these are all the innovations which Vijayawada Municipal Corporation has taken up in the field of toilets, particularly the community toilets and the public toilets, which can be taken up in the other parts of the country as well. We are ready to give the necessary guidance also. Thank you, sir. That is from my side.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Swapnil, sir. You have shown that a third rank holder city like Vijayawada, how they are using this running community kitchen from gas from this generated from the tank, greenery around toilets, and also advantages of Namma toilet, and that 26 lakh being also, that is also encouraging. So similar thing may be, I think, motivating for other cities and towns also who are listening. So thank you very much, sir. Now I request Sri KVS Chaudhary, sir, Commissioner Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. He will be explaining on public sanitation best practices from Bhopal. He is 2011 batch IAS officer and lot of experience. Sir, please start your presentation.
Good afternoon. Chaudhary, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is KVS Chaudhary. I am Commissioner, Bhopal Municipal Corporation. Today, I want to share a few best practices from Bhopal in the field of public sanitation, especially related to public toilets and community toilets. Bhopal has a population of approximately 22 lakhs. It is spread in an area of 400 square kilometers, and there are 6 assembly constituencies and 85 wards. So coming to the topic about community and public toilets, in 2014 we had about 92, but after Swachh Sarvekshan began in 2014, there was a very specific focus and urgency about constructing more community toilets and increasing the number of public toilets for the general public. You can see that, as of now, we have about 63 community toilets in slums and vulnerable communities, which are maintained by us, where we pay for the community toilets, where the slum dwellers are the residents don't pay for it. For public toilets, we don't pay for the maintenance. The operator collects fee from the users and he maintains them. And we plan to increase them in future. I mean, in the surrounding areas and in the growing areas, we plan to have about 315 in public toilets and community toilets by 2031. As of now, we have 206 public toilets and community toilets. Coming to few best practices that we would like to highlight, we developed constructed third gender specific toilets. There is an area in Mangalwara and Budwara in the old city of Bhopal where these community people stay there. I mean, there is a significant number of population there. About 250 to 300 families stay there. So a need was felt for constructing a specific third gender toilet, and it's exclusively for them. And all the facilities that we see in the normal public toilets, they're there. And there's a waiting room and all the facilities that are there, they're also developed there. It's a good response and it's a good sensitive intervention because in the surrounding, the community stays there and lives there. So they use it, without any inhibition, without any trouble. We would like to share about the She Launch. It's basically a PPP model without any investment from municipal corporation. There are about 3 of them, especially for women. They are running since 2015 and they are maintained by women staff only. There is a feeding room with a seating facility. Apart from the sanitary services, there is also a shop of cosmetics and daily needs, where the investor who invested, he runs the shop also and he runs the toilets also. Being completely maintained by women, women find it easy and convenient to use it, and it has good appeal for the users. Bhopal has 9 lakes, and it's always referred to as city of lakes. So where we cannot construct a permanent toilet and where we need to take care of the conservation of the lake, we installed bio toilets. So it has a good digester which helps in eco-friendly composting. There is no septic tank here, and it can be directly used as manure. So it's very helpful in the Bada Talab area, which is a Ramsar site, and where we cannot construct a permanent toilet. Another PPP model that we already started, which is functional, is the fresh room, where the investor completely invested on his own without any funds from the municipal corporation. He maintains the toilet. There is a good feeding room and a changing room for the women, and a waiting room also. So it's very useful in the commercial areas where people can't spend much on a big hotel or room. So very nominal bill of about 50 rupees, 100 rupees is charged. People use it as a waiting room. Women especially it's helpful for them for the feeding room. So some use the toilet exclusively, some use it for feeding room or for a changing room. There is a facility for bathing also. So it's useful in a commercial place, which is where the footfall is high and where the visiting population is high. We use the My Toilet app developed by Mahua only. So it's useful from 2 perspectives. One is about the attendance, because it's very important for us when there are more than 200 toilets. Whether the caretaker, the worker, who is supposed to be there, whether he's there on time or not. How many people are working. How many have been opened. How many are functional. Second is about the feedback from the general public and also feedback from the staff. So we are using this continuously, and we are highlighting this My Toilet app in all our city PTs, which we are using for the attendance of our staff as well as the public feedback from the users. It's very useful, and we are able to see it live. These are the few practices that we would like to share from Bhopal. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You have shared especially that concept of the sea launch, fresh rooms, and also use of biodigester. I hope this experience will be very much helpful apart from that third gender toilets wherever the people is. So the experience will definitely help other cities. Now I request Sri Abhishek Nathji. He will be presenting on business models for public toilets, Blue Cafe. Abhishek Nathji.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Namaskar. Yes, we are able to hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes.
because of limitation of time, another meeting is scheduled later on. Please be brief and within 10 minutes, please complete that.
Sure, sir. So, Swachh Namaskar to everybody. I represent an organization called Loo Cafe. Loo Cafe is one of the fastest growing public toilet startups in India. In fact, it's the only toilet which has been featured in the Louisiana Museum in Denmark and as well as the Indian Design Week. So typically a Loo Cafe is a shipping container which is basically got a little cafe and also has a lot of toilets all around it. It's got a male toilet, it's got a female toilet, it's also got a physically challenged or a disabled toilet attached to it, along with a loads of technologies and features enclosed. So that's a typical picture of a Loo Cafe, how it really looks. Today, at this stage, we've actually grown to over around 400 plus Loo Cafes all across the country, starting from Jammu Kashmir to down south. Typical Loo Cafe comes in a size of a 20 by 8 kind of a model, which is a size of a shipping container. We've also got a 8 by 8. We've also got a 40 by 8 kind of a model. So Loo Cafe, the entire philosophy works around sustainability. The idea of sustainability is it works on a PPP kind of a model where the revenue generated from the POS is used to manage and sustain the toilets month on month to the tenure of the Loo Cafe is installed on ground or given permissions to maintain. So these are typically features which feature in any of these Loo Cafes, which has also got a vertical garden to loads of features from stink monitoring sensors, sanitary napkin dispensers, retail kiosks, and so on and so forth. Nationally, these are typical areas where we are present at this stage and growing. These are different sizes of a Loo Cafe, which I was mentioning. The first one is a 40 by 8 kind of a structure, which is slightly large in space with more amount of urinals. Now, depending upon the geography and the footfall, we decide and the space available. We go with a 40 by 8 or an 8 by 8 or a 20 by 8 kind of a story. I would like to mention here that we've recently released a coffee table book called The Toilet Tales, which talks about how we've been able to convert local street hawkers or vendors into using public toilets. And that's been a fantastic learning where we've been able to generate a lot of entrepreneurs who have been either street vendors who become entrepreneurs of their own by using the mini or the space allocated in the Loo Cafe itself. So maybe I'll be able to share, whoever requires to see this book or the coffee table book, we will be able to share this across to you. Over the years, it's been a journey of over 5 years. There have been a lot of learnings as well during this entire journey. So we've been able to understand the usage pattern of a toilet and restructure the entire toilet environment itself in terms of smell. We've enhanced the entire use of technology. In fact, in our office here, we've got a cleaning command center where we could monitor or understand what's happening on the toilets on ground. So it's being powered with a lot of technology. So I would also like to highlight there were a few issues when we were working around it. So understanding or making people understand the use of prefabricated structures, the do's and don'ts, the areas where a toilet should be installed or should not be installed. There were various combinations which we understood over a period of time and then incorporated that into the Loo Cafe 2.0, which is installed at this stage. We've also got scaling of tech coming in. We've got a Mammoth app which is getting launched at this stage, which talks about everything from monitoring of toilets, stink monitoring, feedback, and even understanding or blocking or putting an assignment that this particular person could actually go and use a particular toilet at a particular time. So there is an entire app which is in place, which should be launched shortly. So that's a typical environment of a Loo Cafe, which I was about to talk about. But in case anybody has any questions or any suggestions, you can always write across to me or email across.
Thank you very much, Abhishek Nathji. This is I think, way when we are going towards taking sanitation to next level. In some of the strategic locations are very the places where lot of footfall is there. This may be one option on PPP model. And already I learned that in 5 states they have already set up. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
States fitted out of it. Now yes, thank you very much. Now I request Srija Santosh from Head Sustainability Aero Scientific Solutions. She will be presenting on IoT-based e-toilets business model for public toilets Yes, Kerala Scientific Kerala. Yes, Madam Srija Santosh. Yes, ma'am. Are you able to hear us? Ma'am, please share the screen. Okay. So I think there is some connectivity. We will take her later. Now I request Mr. Ashutosh Giri, founder Press Rooms Private Limited. So he will be presenting on cloud IoT based e-toilet business models for public toilets, Press Rooms Hospitality Private Limited. Mr. Ashutosh Giri ji.
Good morning, all. Good afternoon, all. And this is Ashutosh Giri from Fresh Rooms Hospitality Services Private Limited. We have started a healthy and hygiene hospitality services for the Indian as well as the other countries. So this concept is entirely based on the PPP mode, and this is the first the world's first entry QR code based entry management system, along with the cloud-based POS system, which will provide you the real-time database, where it is like, we have the high end. We are the first in India who used automatic public toilets like Japan. It's automatically, entire process is automatic. So what we align with the Swachh Bharat mission, ODF, all the certification and the requirements, and we are also using the green energy. We are also providing hot and cold shower facilities and the vending facilities. Also, we are providing the lounge facilities at railway stations and the upcoming airports. So, our currently we are targeting, like, we are completely technology enabled. We have our own particular app for pre-ordering the food, pre-ordering the booking of the lounge, and you can also redeem your points by using QR code for the public toilets, where we charge, and it's completely pay use and redeem model. This is the impact which we're trying to create. Every fresh rooms got we bring minimum 5 to 6 employment at each location. We have already set up at 4 states, and in Orissa, we are doing 430 locations, which we in the collaboration is with OSRTC, Odisha State Road Transport. We are also doing in Bhopal. We are also doing in Ujjain, and also like coming up with the Adani airports. So our target is to change the DNA to perception, why we can't set up the public toilets into an high end public utility spaces, where we can promote a good economical business transactions. This is how we are these are the models where we can. Now we are also working on the entirely prefab with the third global supplier of Apple, where we can set up to 500 square feet area in 30 days. If it is max of 1000 or 2000, we can set up in 60 days. We are company going to invest 200 CR for this public participation. So any municipal corporation, those who wanted to collaborate with us, we can happy to collaborate in the PPP mode. Thank you, sir. Thank you from my side.
Thank you, Ashutosh sir. This is another way to take sanitation to next level, especially CTPT, and in PPP mode. These high-end toilets at the places of high footfall, and even some of the strategic locations that can be set up. And separately, if you will be required, they can contact them. Okay. Hello. Is Srija Santosh ma'am available? She is connected. Okay, we will take up later on. Now I request Sri Sunil Agrawal ji. He is program and partnership leader, Toilet Board Coalition. They are basically nurturing and helping the newcomers, newcomers companies and others, so that they can work better in this field. I request Sunil Agrawal ji to present on investment in toilets, experience and learnings. Toilet Board Coalition.
May I please request the Wash Institute team to put in my presentation? Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to present the Toilet Board Coalition's work. Go to the next slide, please. Toilet Board Coalition actually was started by companies like Unilever, Lixil, and Kimberly-Clark. And the idea was the SDG 6.2, which is universal access to water and sanitation to everyone, was lagging behind. And the private sector felt that it is important that they need to intervene and support the governments across the global south to make this happen. And with that, we started the Toilet Board Coalition in 2015. The idea is how the market-based solutions can support various governments across the global south in addressing SDG 6.2. That is our mission. Can you go to the next slide, please? So how do we do that? We run an accelerator program where we focus on private sector engagement to demonstrate scale solutions. Now, those solutions could be provision of access to community or public toilets, or it could be treatment solutions like FSTPs, STPs, etc. So the idea is we mentor, we have a rigorous process of mentoring small and medium enterprises from the sanitation sector. And at the same time, we also work and develop the ecosystem, which means we work with governments across the country and also engage researchers and academicians also to provide and build opportunities and environment for the private sector to set up their business and show up their solutions and scale those solutions. Could you please go to the next slide? Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. So we work with sanitation businesses in 3 ways. What we do is, first of all, as I mentioned, on our board, we have organizations like Unilever, Kimberly-Clark, and Lixil. These are multinational corporations which are engaged in sanitation-related businesses. So these companies would help these small and medium enterprises in terms of identifying what are the promising business solutions that are available with a prospect to scale them. So we do not work directly with incubators or idea stage companies, but we work with companies that have proven their model and are now looking to scale up those models. Now, the experience and the R&D and innovation of these big companies also help in co-innovating with these sanitation enterprises. So this is the way we work with sanitation businesses. Now, you must be thinking what kind of sanitation businesses would follow or would qualify to participate in this. Now, they need to be emerging and frontier market-based providers, which is companies which are based in the global south, like Asia, South Asia primarily, Africa, and Latin America. Their solution should be such that it is scalable. And as I mentioned earlier, it has to be innovative and replicable. It's not just like idea stage, but it should be ready to be scaled and it should be ready to be replicable. And finally, it should be a market-based, which means any innovator who comes up with a solution but is not a profit-making company, in the sense they may be making negative profits, but we do not usually work directly under our accelerator program with companies that are NGOs. So we work only for profit companies. Can you go to the next slide, please? So over the years, what we have done is we started our accelerator program in 2016. When we started in 2016, we had 2 accelerators, but by 2022, as of this year, we have 53 accelerators across the globe. You can see the geographical spread of these companies. Most of them are in the global south, with predominant presence in South Asia, which is 24, of which 21 of them are in India. And the rest are like, Africa and Middle East, as well as we made entry into Latin America as well. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, 53 accelerators and in more than 20 countries. Now, this is some of the impact numbers we have. So under our accelerator program, we have a dedicated 150 hours of mentorship for each and every single entrepreneur who is part of our accelerator program. So there is a rigorous process for the selection. Like for example, for the accelerators going to be enrolled for next year, the accelerator application has closed already by end of May, and now we are in the process of selection of those. One important point that I want to highlight here is of the companies that are part of our accelerator program, 97% of them graduate from the program with either investment already there or with a partnership with a multinational corporation. And just in 2021 alone, within our accelerators, we enabled a direct investment of 10 million US dollars. So what we do is we try to work with our entrepreneurs in such a way we want to help them scale. So we also work with accelerators as well as commercial investors as well to make that investment happen. Can we go to the next slide, please? So I did mention that, of the 53, 21 of them are in India. Now, this is an old number from 2020. Now, even though the number of companies we're showing is as 21, if you look at the map on the right-hand side, the geographical spread of these companies is across the country in India. Next slide, please. Now, one of the things that we do very closely working with the urban local bodies is right now, like a forum like this would be a great forum where the urban local body decision makers from the sanitation sector would be able to identify and know what are the various innovative, sustainably implementable, scalable solution providers that are there. So we bring in entrepreneurs, we present those solutions by inviting urban local body decision makers like the participants here today. So we do this every quarter. We have already completed 2 webinars, one in January, one in April. The next one is scheduled on 20th of July. If any of the urban local bodies would be interested to participate, please reach out to me. My email address is on the slide right now. Can we go to the next slide, please? You will see the list of all our members across the world. You see Lixil, Kimberly-Clark and Unilever who sit on our board. We also have USAID, Asian Development Bank, Apple for All, UNICEF and a whole lot of other companies. So that's the presentation about the Toilet Board Coalition. I'd be happy to take any questions if you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you very much. So, Toilet Board Coalition is basically providing the scaling of urban waste solutions and also circular economy business models. They are very much there, and behind them, in interaction, I learned from them a lot of big companies are there who can also help in investment. So this is also an opportunity that the states can help those growing startups who are in this field with bright idea. They can contact, and it will be good not only for the sector but also for the country and individual states also. So with this, Srija is not right. Okay. So with this, we have completed almost all. Only I request again, Ms. Srija Santosh. I think there is some technical issue. She is not able to hear us. Madam, are you able to hear now? From Aram Scientific Solutions, Ms. Srija Santosh. I think there is some technical issue. She is not able to hear. So,
can you hear me now?
Yes, we are able to hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. Is it possible for you to share my presentation from your side?
Yes, we'll do from our side. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead. Hello.
Hello? Yes.
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Okay, so here I am presenting to you our aspirations and our experiences in setting up micro unit enterprises, which is our new model in our electronic toilet space, which promotes improved sanitation at the same time generating livelihood for the local community SHG members. Giving a slight introduction about our company, Aram Scientific Solution, we are an R&D social enterprise working in the innovation sector in sanitation. We have an experience of about 12 years, and during those years, we have worked with Swachh Bharat mission initiatives and installed around 4,000 plus toilets across 24 states and 20 smart cities. And also, we are recipient of 50 plus awards. Can I have the next slide? Yes. So our niche product is e-toilet, a patented product designed to overcome the challenges of dirty toilets and for bringing monitoring and green technologies, which in essential promotes social impact and behavioral changes. That was the aspiration behind our innovation that we have brought in the e-toilet space. So keeping in those aspirations in mind, we have put in features such as it is easy to install, modular in design, consumes less water, power efficient, enhanced cleanliness through automation that is there in the e-toilet space, which is auto flushers, floor washing mechanism, and unmanned operations. That means minimalistic manual cleaning and maintenance is required. And also coin operated entry or free access based on the requirement of the governing body or the municipality who is installing the e-toilet. Apart from that, we also promote green solutions, waste treatment using anaerobic degradation of a DRDO solution. Additionally, we have an operational efficiency and IoT enabled. Our toilets are mapped and monitored. Relevant data can be collected based on the requirement of the municipalities and the local bodies who install them. Now, scaling up the e-toilet space during our operational experience of e-toilet, we had faced a lot of challenges with our vast installation experience. That is most important challenging was the vandalism of the toilet parts. Very badly used toilets, clogged with bottles and waste sometimes, and also the O&M maintenance that we get from the government is often delayed and time consuming. So to overcome all this, to bring sustainability to the sanitation space, we have our business model, that is the micro enterprise for sanitation. Please, next slide. Next slide, please. Yes. So this is our model which overcomes the failures of the community and public toilet maintenance and also providing livelihood opportunities, decent income for the SHG groups who will be taking ownership of the sanitation space. The key aspect of our model is it is community led. It is the robust structures by Aram Scientific Solution. The funding is through the CSR partners, the investment partnership that we have established, and of course from the government bodies who would like to have sustainable sanitation along with promotion of decent livelihood for the local communities. The government is the enabler here who provides the requisite space for putting a public sanitation space. We ask them to give a little more space for the kiosk so that combined both the ecosystem is maintained by the sanitation entrepreneur. We call them entrepreneur who are skilled and trained to maintain not only the toilet but also to generate a small enterprise through the kiosk model. So next slide, please. So, can I have the next slide? Yeah, so our operational business model is like this. The entrepreneurs run the enterprise as a joint liability group. There is always a toilet complex with a kiosk. The format of the kiosk and the toilet, it can be varied according to the people who will be using it. If it is a she toilet, a lot of features for that. So based on the requirement of the government or the installing partner, customization can be brought about. Then government supports with the high footfall location approvals and license to operate for 10 to 15 years. That is the time period which is required for the SHGs to have a smooth running business in the area. So, and next slide, please. Let me give you a brief about our installation experience of this model. Our first pilot was run some 2021 with the help of UNICEF, and Angul municipality gave us the space to install the toilet and the kiosk complex, funding by District Mineral Foundation, and they employed a transgender group of 10 numbers, and we have got very positive response from the community and the people of the Angul municipality who had supported it wholeheartedly. You can see the sales figure of the kiosk, which shows that they have done very positive results in generating income from the sale of products in the shop, and also from the toilet complex they are taking a usage charge of 5 rupees. Next slide, please. Subsequent to our pilot model that we have installed in Angul municipality, we got SDFC backing, a CSR fund from there, and we were able to bring up more MES units in Cuttack, Puri, and Bhubaneswar municipalities, who wholeheartedly supported us in sourcing the high footfall regions. It is run by women-led SHGs who have taken upon themselves the ownership of the toilet space. They take care of the toilet. They help the people on the usages of the toilet. They educate them about how to use it, in a proper manner. And our ongoing project is with the JSW in Bardil and Paradeep, where we are again bringing this SHG engaged sanitation model. We are also currently talked with a lot of municipalities, especially in Kerala, Maharashtra, Guwahati, and other states for further implementation. Next, please. So our future plans is, scale it up even more, because it's a very modular design. It can fit in any public $1,000 plus. it brings more accountability to the wash sector, bringing improved infrastructure and more development of the community across the country. Government can be an enabler who can help us in fast tracking many of these projects through limiting the time taken for the approvals, and also giving us a special category status to encourage and support SHGs in taking up sanitation as a business model. And with this motivation, SHGs can scale their business to have a better reach and to have a better livelihood programs. So together, let's create a growth ecosystem, nurturing and growing together with a conscious attention to environment. That is what we aspire for in Aram Scientific Solutions. Thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with me for all the delays that I have caused. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. So this is an example of IoT enabled e-toilet, and it is modular in design and maintenance as far as concerned. And the beauty of it is, with a little bit enabling support from the government, it can be set up as a micro enterprises for sanitation, like examples we have seen in case of Puri and other places. So these are also examples where it can be taken at large scale to address the next level sanitation requirement. With this, we have completed our presentations, and we are on schedule also. Now I request JS ma'am to please maybe give closing remarks and whatever other guidance is there, ma'am.
As I can see, we had about close to 900 participants logged in for today's Swachh Talks episode, and now we have around 834-35 present, which means a significant number of cities have joined us today. The first point that I would like to make is there is no greater learning than learning from our own experiences and from the experiences of others. And in the past 8 years, we have all tried different things. We have had good feedback. We've made some failures. We've learned what could be improved. And all of us together as a Swachh fraternity are possibly poised to do better in this extremely important sector of sanitation. And to that effect, Swachh Talks as a platform, in my view, is a great platform where, sitting in the comfort of your office, one can listen to excellent experiences of other cities, of the private sector, of sector partners, academicians, thinkers, independent bodies, etc. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs takes great effort and care to curate these Swachh Talks so that in every episode of Swachh Talks, all our cities can get some kind of an experience of something new and different. Today, in the first half, we have all witnessed and we have been together when the revised ODF protocol certification process has been launched out by the Secretary Mahua. And as already presented, though of course, I deeply regret the issues of network connectivity from our end, particularly during our audiovisual and during the presentations. But as some of you would have got a sense of what it was, and as Secretary emphasized, we've tried to make it simple, A. B, we've tried to make it more robust, and we have tried to tweak the entire certification process going ahead so that the energies of all partners is from here on focused towards operations, functionality, and sustaining the efforts of open defecation journey. The cities that were chosen today have been chosen with care. We had a city
that manages the challenges of extremely high footfall within a limited period of time during the Kumbh, and has shared its experiences. From the experiences of Prayagraj, I can say that today other cities like Amarnath, like Kedarnath, etc., Ujjain, are trying to pick up and then have their own innovations to meet the requirement of such kind of heritage cities where for a certain period of time there could be a high footfall. We also had cases of Vijayawada and Bhopal, again two cities placing two extremely different kind of stories of how integration has happened with groups, how gender sensitivity comes in as a very focused approach of how clean energy and the issue of cyclical approach in sanitation has been integrated. Both these cities have brought forth different experiences. I was extremely pleased to have a look at the presentations which our private sector partners made today. And it is very clear that sanitation, which used to be a very rudimentary area, today has opened up. And I congratulate and compliment each of these leaders who, in their own way, have taken initiatives to innovate in this extremely crucial area. We saw models of extremely high-end toilets in the form of fresh rooms. We saw bio-toilets, e-toilets in the form of a RAM presentation. And we also saw the Loop Cafe model, which has a flair for the youth, which has a flair for ease of installation and operation and maintenance in whichever kind of terrain that we may think of. We also saw a wonderful presentation by the Toilet Board Coalition. If the cities have heard this presentation well, and for those who are well aware of the work that Toilet Board Coalition does, I would just like to reiterate that there is a lot of possibility of matchmaking between the private sector and the cities. And a forum like a Toilet Board Coalition does just exactly that. There are a lot of corporates and private sector who want to have cities as their own working ground, and the cities who have extremely niche requirements for sanitation. Therefore, for all those cities who are interested to know what the private sector has to offer, or who would like to invite the private sector to work and invest in their cities, we would recommend that please go and attend the webinars that are being done by the TBC. You can also invite the TBC, listen from them. If you're not happy with what is being presented, you give your own requirements. Let the industry accordingly tweak their supply as per the demands and the requirements that cities have. And to sum it up, if we see the sector of sanitation, one size fits all will just not work here. The requirements are diverse, every city is different, and sanitation as a subject is multi-layered. Possibly one webinar is not enough to meet or answer the kind of challenges that this sector would give, and more so with new dimensions getting added, coming up with the fecal sludge management and the used water management. If you look at it, one aspect is saturation of access to toilets of individual households. The second aspect, where there is a lot of work and continued work that will be required, will be regarding the quality of services that will be required for community toilets, specifically in the slum areas. Then the third aspect, which will require a lot of innovation, lot of scope is there, is the area of public toilets and positioning, the location of public toilets, the kind of model that we are putting for that particular public toilet, and the entire operation and maintenance. The third dimension which will come is to meet exceptional events and circumstances. It could be a Tirth, it could be a Kumbh, it could be a Magh Mela, it could be anything. That is a third dimension. The fourth dimension that comes is the kind of work that we do as a fraternity together to meet those sensitive pockets which are prone to open defecation. Could be railway tracks, could be water bodies, could be open urination in crowded areas. So on these areas, what is the strategy that the cities will adopt? And then the final and the soul of sanitation, which is behavior change. It is very important that all of us together must realize that it has been 8 years now since Swachh Bharat started. 8 years is a long time. And in 8 years, there can always be an apprehension of fatigue setting in our communication and dialogue. Generation is changing. Times are changing. People have been hearing the same thing. Elected representative bodies could be different. Officers could be transferred. Leadership could be changing. However, we will have to see that once again, we pump in energy, commitment, and new ideas in our entire behavior change communication in the sector of sanitation so as to replenish the fuel and the fire that is required for this sector. Therefore, my request to cities is, these are just few ideas. The entire sector here is once again opened up for you to move ahead with greater commitment with SBM 2.0. I call upon all the partners to please join us and walk along this path with us with the increased demand and the niche requirements that our cities have, given the expectations rise in this horizon. And let us all work towards garbage-free cities in true sense and spirit. All my best wishes, thanking all the speakers and thanking all the participants. And we will see you again in the next series of Swachh Talks, which will most possibly be on the fecal sludge and the grey water management, taking it forward. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And I thank everybody. With the permission, now we have closed the webinar. Thank you. Thank you.